I don't even know how to jump back in, so I'm just going to bring you up to date with story time with Norrine about... Hello, Crafty Organizer friends. I have not seen you in a very long time, and I've missed you. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. I don't even know how to jump back in, so I'm just going to bring you up to date with story time with Norrine about some of the crazy things that have been happening, where I'm at in life, where I am with projects, the health of my dad, the health of my daughter. There's a lot. So last we left off, I had just moved my office, and this is only the second time I'm getting to film. I think I moved this, I don't know, June, end of June? It's October, but that was the last we left off. My office got emptied out. I took apart everything that was in that garage, got everything packed up and moved. My dad had finally gotten out of the hospital and was doing very well. The car that I had bought used that was only a few years died. So I bought another little used car, and I found out that catalytic converters are very, very expensive. And if the used car is not worth it, they'll junk it. Yes, the insurance will just junk it. Isn't that awesome? My fiance had to have surgery, so he was non-weight bearing for several months. But I got to use my carpentry skills to build him a ramp, and I was helping him to recover. I did get to work with a client. She had this great big side yard that wasn't being used. We cleared it out. We put in these amazing cinder blocks that allow for wood to just slide in, and you can stack them and create all kinds of amazing designs. But we made this enormous side area for her to do a garden, a vegetable garden. So we got that all set up for her. She got it all planted. It has been flourishing and doing very well for her. During this time, I also helped my daughters to get ready for their sister's wedding, which was a ton of fun. I made a dog head pillow of Yzma for my oldest daughter. This was a birthday present. We celebrated her birthday, and then immediately after, my dad went back into the hospital. He had had the Whipple surgery for colon cancer. He ended up getting sepsis, so he was in for 89 long days. He finally got out of the hospital and was doing really well and gaining weight. And then out of the blue, this immense pain took him out. We got him into the ER. Turns out he had an intestinal blockage. They had to go in for emergency surgery. The surgery went well, and then he got another infection. So all of that progress we had made for him gaining weight and gaining strength and getting healthy again, we were now at a lower weight. So we had to give him lots of feeding supplements. He was in for a couple of weeks, but he's out. And I'm knocking on wood, by the grace of God, he is actually doing really well right now. As a result of all that's been going on with my dad's health, we moved up my wedding date. We weren't going to get married until next year. But you know, life is fleeting, and I really wanted my dad to be a part of this. So we moved everything up in a hurry so that I could make sure that I had my dad with me. So that also meant that I was moving in with my fiance a little bit sooner. So we started working on projects at his house. One of them being he had this laundry room that had an old cabinet where there was a water heater. We took that out, we put my washer and dryer in there. We were looking for a quick fix. So you know that paper I love so much for the bulletin boards? We used that in this space because it's plaster and lathe, but it also has drywall, and that exceeds my DIY capabilities. So for the interim, we're just covering it, and I'm putting up some shelves, and I think it's going to be a great solution for us short term. I'm really happy with the way this looks until we can get somebody in to actually fix all of that drywall. My youngest also got to celebrate a birthday, so there was lots of highs and lows. While I was moving, I took a chance to clear out and purge a lot of things I simply didn't need. My fiance was doing well with his recovery, but one of the times on his scooter, he fell and he cracked the cast, so he had to have another 6 weeks, but we now have the cast off. So Dad's doing well, fiance is doing well, and then my daughter went into the hospital. We don't quite know what was happening with her. She had to wear a heart monitor for a whole month, which she's just now able to take off. So if you have prayers left for me, send me one that I can pass on to my daughter. We don't know what's happening with her. It was really actually frightening with all the fears that I had and stresses with my dad and all the fears and concerns I had about my fiance. Honestly, nothing topped taking my daughter into the ER, having them saying they were admitting her, and then realizing they were putting her in the ICU. So that was probably the scariest thing this whole year, especially when they just couldn't give us answers. We know basically her heart was putting out a chemical called troponin, which is usually indicative of somebody who's had a stroke. She's young. She's only 19 years old. She's an athlete. We don't know what's happening. So they're going down neurological pathways. They're also going out down cardiology. So the heart monitor was going to tell us which avenue we really needed to focus on. So we just sent that off yesterday, and we are hoping to get some answers on what to do. But it was really scary. And as soon as she got out, we had to send her back up to college. So fingers crossed that everything goes well. But I've been continuing to do projects around the house and plan for a wedding. My youngest is getting ready to be a senior this year. I've been taking Yzma on tons of walks. I've been doing little plumbing issues as pipes back up. I've been taking advantage of end of summer clearance sales and getting plants so that I can work on the backyard and setting it up in a way that the Crafty organizer would. I'm also updating some spaces he had. This bathroom has a tiny little sink in it, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if I added some shelves that kind of matched? I ran to IKEA, they had some wood that matched, and I built this little cabinet. And I will do a whole video on that if you're interested, so let me know in the comments below. I've also been working on trying to refinish his floor in some spaces, so I've been playing with some different things. But there's just so many little projects to work on around the house, and I'm super excited about it. But as I was stressed and struggling, these projects are what were really getting me through and keeping my sanity. And while I filmed some of them, I didn't film all of them because certain times it was more of a coping mechanism and a way to survive when I was really stressed and just out of my mind. So there might be something you were interested in seeing that I just didn't film, but I tried as often as possible to at least set up the camera, and I would just go and check out and work until I kind of felt a little bit better. So if I do post, it might be some really weird footage, but at least I did get some of it for you. But I kept reminding myself, no matter how bad things were, I had so many of you reaching out saying, how are you? We haven't seen you. We miss you. And you'll never know how much that meant to me. It was really, really very endearing to hear how many of you were just thinking about me. And I want to say thank you to every one of you who sent me an email, a comment, a message through text or through Patreon. I really appreciate how many of you reached out to me. And I just kept reminding myself to just do what I could in that moment and that everything else would eventually pass. So that's kind of what I've been working on. I tried to steal as many moments as I could with my girls as they're going into adulthood and just enjoying my dog and the project. So that's where I'm at. I am planning for this wedding, and this is what I'm working on right now is my centerpieces. So that's what I've got for you guys. I am hoping, I'm not even going to commit to every week. I'm going to commit to at least every month until the end of the year. I'm going to do my best to gear up for the 12 shares of Christmas. I have so many ideas, and that's definitely what I want to commit to. Is the first 12 days of December, I'm going to post a fun project for you guys, as long as everything goes well for the rest of this year. So if you're the praying type, juju type, good wishes type, whatever good vibes you want to send, I will gladly take them, because this has just been one heck of a hard year. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. I hope you don't mind me blathering on about all the things that have been going on. I just didn't know how to jump back into filming projects without at least letting you guys know where I've been, what's been going on, and what I've been doing. So as always, Thank you for sticking with me. Thanks for this crazy journey of life that you guys have chosen to go along with me on. And I will see you guys in the next video where I'll be sharing whichever project you were most interested in. It's probably going to be the bathroom counters, but it might be the centerpieces I'm working on too. So let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you to my patrons. You guys have saved me these last few months because you were the only source of income I had. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting me in this channel. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.